Hey, welcome to this video on what to invest in during this time. Now we're going to specifically focus on the stock market at this time. So this question comes from Rob, who's in the Financial Ninjas group. What's up, Rob? Thanks so much for asking the question, bro. He says, which industries are strongest to invest in during a boom and bust period? It's a fantastic question. Aside from investing in yourself, which is the number one investment you can make, let's talk about investing in the stock market. Okay, let's talk about investing in assets to reap the benefits of this, time of opportunity. Okay, did another video talking about the Chinese word for crisis is danger and opportunity. And I also did another video on investing in yourself. But let's talk about the stock market, okay? And the stock market is just one place to play, but it could be a very good place to play given this recession right now. The last 2008-2009 recession, afterwards all the stocks just went up. Obviously they all tanked, right? And everything just went up. So in this video I'm going to talk about companies to avoid, and absolutely to avoid, companies that would be a safe bet, and companies that also will not be affected. And then lastly, companies that will thrive out of this recession. So when you are investing in, stocks, you're investing in companies, okay? I wouldn't recommend real estate just yet. It's April 21st. I've been looking at a lot of real estate in Florida myself, but do not feel comfortable pulling the trigger on any properties yet. So I'm not recommending real estate. Without a doubt, absolutely, precious metals is a great choice. Currencies definitely would be careful of as well. So let's focus on stocks, okay? And remember that there's essentially four types of assets: stocks, bonds, currencies, and commodities. I'm a big fan of crypto. I'm very heavy on crypto. That's considered a currency, cryptocurrency. So let's talk stocks. Definitely, without a doubt, avoid all companies that will not make it out of this recession. Now you're probably thinking, well, Michael, that's easy. But you got to apply your thinking to know what companies will not make it out of the recession, okay? Which ones will be heavily negatively impacted by this recession. And I'm so glad again for Rob asking this question, because I meant to do this video like several weeks ago, okay? So I would stay away from any car companies. Nobody's buying cars right now, okay? Stay away from most entertainment companies, and I'll get back to that. Stay away from hospitality, obviously, without a doubt. No hotels getting rented right now. You can't even do Airbnbs. We're going to go up to like a cottage like several weeks ago, and all the regular B&Bs are closed, never mind Airbnbs. Manufacturing, stay away from all manufacturing. Obviously things like furniture, most consumer goods, okay? Stay away from all of that. The other companies that will be affected, but like a sector to be careful of, is entertainment. But Netflix will be great. Obviously, without a doubt, not a single person is going to cancel their Netflix subscription right now. Actually, with this Corona time, people that never had Netflix or were sitting on the fence, they're going to pull the trigger right now, and they're going to buy it if they haven't bought it yet. Potentially, Disney could be good, okay, because Disney Plus. And also Disney owns, friggin' Lucasfilm and like so many, Marvel, obviously. They own all those franchises, so potentially Disney, if you're going to look at direct stocks. But interestingly enough, Cineplex is a stock that I was going to buy earlier in the year. Here in Canada, Cineplex Odeon is the biggest movie theater franchise company, and I didn't pull the trigger. Thank goodness I did not, okay? Because their next quarterly report, they got to pay all that rent of those big properties, and no income from no ticket sales and no food at the box office. Okay. Now here's what I really want to stress. This is the two sectors I really want to focus on, which is what to invest in right now. I was saying this weeks ago to my wife. Companies that will not be affected by the recession. Energy stocks, most natural gas stocks, companies that supply energy to people. So people are going to be living in their homes. Electricity is going to continue. People are going to continue to need electricity. They're heating their gas. So Enbridge stock on the TSX in Toronto in Canada has been a great stock for a long time. Issues great dividends, okay? Banking, I would be careful of. Banking could be possible, but I would be careful of. If you have ethical reasons like me, you don't invest in banks, okay, because they rip everyday people off. If you want to know about that, then check out our courses at the Financial Ninjas. Canadian banks are safe. Canadian banks are big, solid, safe. There's only 5, okay? American banks I would be even more cautious of. I wouldn't touch any American banks because American banks, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, okay? There are so many, and many of them in the 2008-2009 recession collapsed. And you might be thinking, well, if I invest in a big bank, you know, like Citibank or Bank of America or something like that, or Wells Fargo, then I should be safe. But not necessarily, because those big, huge banks, they own a lot of those little guys. And if those little guys go bust, then that means the bigger ones are affected. So I'm not too sure about banks. I always ethically invest first. Ethically, I don't invest in what I don't value. We talk about those in our Ninjas investment courses if you want to learn more about that. So I don't touch banks. Now, here's the kicker. Here's the fantastic ones, the real stocks to really consider investing in and definitely doing for the recession. Telecom stocks. I was saying this to my wife weeks ago. People still need their internet, obviously more than ever. And businesses are going to rely more heavily on their internet providers and double up and double down on their usage or their programs or whatever, because now everything's going virtual. Everything's been virtual. To keep up in business, you had to be virtual. So definitely in Canada, Rogers, Telus, Bell, probably definitely going to report high profits in the next quarterly earnings or the annual report, because people are more dependent upon them more than ever, okay? So telecom stocks, without a doubt. Netflix, probably a friggin' sure safe bet. If Netflix wanted, they could increase their rates right now because of all the high use on their servers, the high demand on their servers. So if they wanted, Netflix could kind of gouge a little bit and just, raise the rates and cause their income to spike and their revenue to spike, right? Fairly so. They got to probably double down on their staff to keep their servers and their systems running. Okay, and lastly, this is a fantastic one. This is a product I've been using for over 5 years now, and they just had their IPO last year, which is Zoom. Zoom, everybody, without a doubt, definitely the huge, massive leader in the telecom and the communication space that Zoom is, without a doubt, is so perfectly poised for their IPO last year, and they have raised their rates, I noticed. I've been a paying customer for years. My business, many businesses all over the world, depending heavily on Zoom for its simplicity, its reliability, dependability, and great customer support and great technology. So works well. So definitely, if you're into stocks, this is for educational and entertainment purposes. This is not financial advice. This is just for educational and entertainment purposes. I am not responsible for what you do on your own accord with your own stocks and your own money and your own choices. And lastly, listen to this, ladies and gentlemen, let's be honest. Healthcare. Healthcare. A lot of healthcare stocks will be great right now. I myself have some friends that are in some healthcare stocks in a portfolio that we put together just as a something fun for them. The healthcare sector is growing right now. Obviously, they're going to get tons of funding. They're going to get tons of revenue from all the supplies that they're churning out like butter, doubling overtime to get gloves, masks, medicine, pharmaceuticals, whatever. Healthcare definitely would be a great sector to invest in right now. But you got to be selective, of course. Always do your research and do your background info. If you want more knowledge on investing, then we have courses at the Financial Ninjas Facebook group or www.financialninjas.com. We've got several courses there as well, so check those out. Do not gamble. Do not gamble with your money. This is a time to invest smartly, and it's better to know the foundations and know the basics so that you have a solid education to make the right choices and have your best bet at success. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. See you on the next one.